Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're first time here, my name is Jenny, and if you're back, I'm happy to see you again. Guys, today I have a comparison of two very delicious coffee scents, and I thought I will make this battle between them. It's gonna be about DELOX from Tiziana Terenzi and Montale INTENSE CAFÉ. I will tell you the differences between them. I will tell you which one I believe is the better choice, what are the differences, and which one is my favorite. So if you're interested, stay with me. And maybe if you're not already part of our small perfume family here, maybe you consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to welcome you here. And otherwise, we start, guys, with the small battle between the coffee giants. I will start with the newer one to my collection, and this one is the DELOX of Tiziana Terenzi. It was long time on my wish list, guys, but I wasn't sure if I really need another coffee scent, although I love Intense Cafe now for years. And then finally I decided, no, I'm gonna get it. I will try it out. It was a total blind buy. And guys, what can I tell you? I'm head over heels in love with this scent. You know, the Montale Intense Cafe was always on my top list of all times. It was my favorite coffee scent. It was my number one. Almost in all my favorite hauls, and it was always taking at least one place somewhere. But now I have to say it became the second place now. It really starts losing when I'm comparing it next to DELOX. And I will tell you all the details why. I will tell you first about DELOX. It's a coffee sweet gourmand, guys. Here we have coffee, hyacinth, iris, rose, vanilla, opoponax, lots of honey, amber, musk, and cedar. If you ask me, Jenny, what do you smell? I smell a latte macchiato coffee, okay? A milky coffee with vanilla honey and lots of rose, and the rose is dipped in sugar. Okay, if I would describe it in some words, this is what I smell. And what I adore in DELOX, guys, and is the biggest difference to Montale Intense Cafe, the coffee note is there until the end. As long as the scent is on my skin, and this is for long, 10 hours and more, the coffee you're always smelling. It doesn't disappear. Other story with Montale Intense Cafe. With Montale Intense Cafe, the coffee note is there, but here for me, the coffee is not a latte macchiato. Here, the coffee for me is really, you're opening the big coffee bag, and this smell that comes from the fresh beans, this is what I get in Montale Intense Cafe. In DELOX, I get a milky coffee. This is for me the main difference, first of all. The coffee note here in Montale's Intense Cafe disappears, faints after a while. It didn't bother me before, but now that I found DELOX, it does bother me because the coffee is not there until the end. So this is one of the differences, and DELOX, guys, is more refined. It's smooth, it's refined, it's sweet, but it's not too sweet. Absolutely unisex perfume for guys as well to wear. I smell vanilla honey. It's cozy, it's warm, it's a sugary, dipped in sugar rose. It's great, guys. It's a vanilla coffee, maybe a latte macchiato with vanilla inside. It's great. It's great. And in the dry down, actually, I get always a little bit of white flowers through the time. It comes and goes, but it's developing much more than the Montale Intense Cafe. This one, for my nose, is much more interesting. Okay, this is what I can tell you for sure. The Intense Cafe of Montale, I showed you before. It's the same. It's a coffee sweet gourmand. We have floral notes, lots of rose, lots of coffee, vanilla, musk, and amber. Here the rose actually is a kind of dirty rose, okay, if this makes sense. It's more rose, less coffee. in the dry down. In the beginning, the coffee is just fine, but it disappears and faints after a while. The sweetness inside the Montale is more synthetic than in the Deluxe of Tiziana Terenzi, for sure. This one smells a bit more in your face, and yeah, if it comes to sexiness, guys, let's be honest. For me personally, not the one, not the other one is really a sexy scent. It's a great coffee rose scent, for sure. But these kind of perfumes are not giving me a sexy vibe, not in the first place, okay? For me, other scents that I have in my collection are more sexy than those. But when it comes to side by side, which one I would say is maybe more sexy? Maybe I would say the Montale Intense Cafe, just because it's a little bit more in your face, okay? It's more shouting. This one is more refined, a little bit more elegant, a little bit more back. The sillage and the longevity is the same, guys. It's the same. They're very, very similar, but this one definitely develops more. It's more interesting. It costs a bit more than the Montale Intense Cafe, but it works. You're paying for something more interesting. This is what I can say. If you're asking yourself now, you have the Intense Cafe, do you need to buy the Deluxe? Well, if you're happy with the Intense Cafe, go on and stay with this one. But if you're searching for something a little bit like Intense Cafe, but more coffee, a little bit more honey instead of sugary notes, more interesting development, then you should really try, and I recommend you to try Deluxe. And if you're just searching for something in this vibe, but something else, definitely try Deluxe. You will not be disappointed, for sure. I can tell you. This was always my number one, and now it's my number two. Deluxe took within a week, it took its place, and this is very difficult because if you know my channel already a little bit, Intense Cafe was always in my favorite list. So it kicked it away within a week. So I know myself, as much as it's sad for me, I will be grabbing now Deluxe instead of Intense Cafe because it's just more up my alley. It's more feminine. It's more, as I said, refined. It's more elegant. It's rich smelling. It's warm smelling. The honey note here gives him this special kick that Montale's Intense Cafe doesn't have. And the coffee here is always there, guys. Until the end, you smell the coffee note, and I adore it. I love it. So if you're into coffee, rose, vanilla, honey, not too sweet, just the right amount, rich, warm, cozy. What can I say? Yeah, just the perfect coffee scent. For me, it is definitely Deluxe from Tiziana Terenzi. I can recommend you this 100%. Still, Montale Intense Cafe is a good option to get, to try. And maybe some people will prefer the Montale actually before the Tiziana Terenzi. Maybe. But I'm here to tell you my honest opinion, and this is what I'm doing. And if you ask me which one I would choose from the two, definitely the Deluxe. So, guys, this was my short battle between the two coffee giants. They're both great perfumes. The Montale Intense Cafe will stay in my collection. I have lots of memories with this scent, but the Deluxe is definitely the better choice. This is my opinion. So, I hope you had some fun and I could help you out a little bit. And yeah, if you have any questions, write me everything in the comments. I would love to read it and answer you back. And otherwise, I hope to see you soon in one of my next videos. Until then, bye bye.